Have you ever operated in a state of crisis and chaos for so long that when you find yourself in a situation that is not chaotic and you're not in crisis mode, you don't know what to do? So you create something to be chaotic, or you create a crisis where there is none? That's what we call self-sabotage, ladies. Yeah, that's what we call self-sabotage. Well, how do you know this, TJ? Because I did it. It goes back to a number of things. It can go back to trauma. It can go back to how you were raised. And in my case, I think it was all of it. And it's interesting because I would thrive and say that I do my best when it gets down to the wire or when it's a crisis. And so I got used to operating in that vein in my professional life, even in my personal life. Being a chronic procrastinator, in school, I would wait till the last minute to bust out a paper when I knew I had all semester to get it done. In relationships, I had to create things that weren't there. Well, actually, the truth of the matter is it was always chaotic in most instances, not all, but in most instances. So I thought, the up and the flow and the tumultuousness, I don't know if that's a word, was par for the course for relationships. So much so that when I got with Mr. Randolph, I kept looking for something. I kept looking for something to be wrong, waiting for the other shoe to drop, because it has to, right? So again, that's where therapy comes in. And I also realized the reason that I chose some of the men that I chose, first thing wrong, is they needed something from me. And my sister told me, I call her my sister, we've been friends since 2000, that Mr. Randolph was the first man that she knew me to be with that didn't need anything from me. Only needed just me to be. And because of that, I was unfamiliar with it. I was unfamiliar with it. So I had to literally talk myself out of doing and creating drama and issues where there were none. It takes some practice, but you have to identify it, ladies. And if we, take time back to sit and reflect, but don't disregard red flags. But we can be a little bit too hypervigilant.